if there's no fault with that system, what will happen is that this glove won't inflate. So let's try that again. See that? Oh, there we go. Hey there, I know I've been pretty slow on doing uploads and stuff, but I've been very busy with mostly writing work. Probably about time to get the Volvo started up again. And one of the things I actually do want to check with it is the what they call the PCV valve. It's one of those acronyms where you think that you're repeating a word by calling it a PCV valve, but the V actually stands for ventilation, so actually a PCV valve is totally correct, unlike pin number. This particular component, what it actually is all about is rather than having an oil breather cap, which is what certainly older vehicles had, and I remember rebuilding Series 1 Land Rover engine with my father, and that just had a breather pipe that allowed any pressure to just escape to atmosphere. On more modern cars, for emissions control, what they actually have is positive crankcase ventilation, flame traps, things like that. And these can deteriorate, they can bung up, and then what you find is that it can then affect the emissions because you get engine oil can start to get into your inlet manifold and be burnt, and also the pressure differential can be wrong, and you start to find that strains gaskets, seals, things like that. So it's something that I've done nearly 100,000 miles in this car. The car itself, 225,000 miles on the clock. And it occurs to me that I've never looked at these components. I haven't even tested them. But the car does sometimes smoke a little bit, and I'd always put this down to worn valve stem oil seals, but I was looking online, and one of the things that I've seen is that these symptoms can also be indicative of problems with the PCV valve and the flame trap. So what I'm going to do is a little trick just to actually test that, because it's quite a job to dig it out from where it's hidden away on the engine. And if you take it out, you've got to replace it really, I guess. It's really messy. It necessitates a full oil and filter change as well, because you get a lot of carbon and detritus that'll end up in the sump oil. But somebody's shown me a little trick, and I'm going to try it now. And we'll see if it shows up the problem. So what we've got here is just these nitrile gloves. Bought a big box of these a while ago. Great for keeping oil off your hands, because used engine oil is actually quite carcinogenic. It's nasty stuff. Once it's had a few heat cycles through an engine, you really don't want it on your bare skin, because it will do you a lot of mischief over time. And I've seen, especially with mechanics, some really bad dermatitis going on because fluids like that have got on their hands. So you really don't want that. So we've got the old Volvo here. Bonnet's already up, and what I'm going to do, first things first, connect the battery. As I said in the last video, I don't leave it connected because the car has got an alarm and an immobiliser, and that does put a little bit of a draw on the battery. But on top of that, the battery itself is pretty much shot. It's scrap. It's not going to stay on this vehicle. If I get it MOT'd and back on the road, first thing I'll be doing is getting a new battery for it. But until that happens, I kind of mend and make do with this. And I connected that up, so what we'll find is, yeah, we got power. What we're going to do is, all the lights come up. but we don't get it started. So I'm not going to mess about. What I'm actually going to do is get out this box of tricks, battery boosting pack, all connected up. Let's turn this little bad boy over. Hinda says that the battery pack probably needs being put on charge. I can do that. So let's just let it run with a bit of throttle for a while. What I want to do is get it warmed up first, and want to make sure that when I take my foot off the power, it doesn't stall. Slowly take my foot off. Just going to be careful here. That is quite a low idle speed. Okay, we've got it started up, got a bit of warmth in it. And what I'm going to do now, first things first, I'm going to take the oil filler cap off whilst it's running. And a little bit of condensation in there, but not a huge amount. I mean, that's probably consistent with it being sat here for a long period of time. We can see the valves going round, the valve cams going round there, and we've got a little bit of steam coming out as well. Now, the little trick which I was shown to get the nitrile glove, and I'm going to have to put you somewhere to watch this, I think. Now, hopefully you can see what they said. Get this glove, and you want to put it over the top here. And they said if the glove puffs up, as you can see it is doing there, see how it's puffing up, that means your PCV needs a little bit of a service. So there we have it. PCV and flame trap need a bit of attention. Apparently, if there's no fault with that system, what will happen is that this glove won't inflate. So let's try that again. See there? Oh, there we go. That is actually producing quite a vacuum on there. So there you have it. Little trick for testing your PCV system. And this car has failed. And that could explain actually that puff of blue smoke. So I'm going to investigate that further. What I'll probably do is I'll take out the flame trap. I think that's the easiest thing to take out, and just see what kind of a state it's in. I certainly know that I think it's supposed to be regularly replaced, and I'm sort of laughing flippantly here. I didn't even know about it, and it's got through MOTs just fine. There's never been any great issue with it, but it would explain possibly that puff of blue smoke, and maybe the fact that the engine does seem to burn a little bit of oil is down to that. And as you saw, it puffed up that glove. So I'm going to run it for a bit because I've got to get it all warmed through anyway, and then might take a look at that later on. I'm not going to do it right now because everything's going to be really hot, but I'll have a flick through the Haynes manual and see if I can divine from that how on earth I do this.